Here's a quick news update for those of you who watch my video on Strike on the Day sovereigns. February 2017, the sovereign has this narrow ribbing, narrow milled edge. November that year, the sovereign has the wider ribbing, the wider milled edge, making it totally distinguishable from the earlier release. Okay, now we've got that out of the way. Over the next few videos, we are going to take a look at some arrivals, continuing the Mega Results series of videos with a few boxes of coins that came back from NGC in the UK. And the definite flavour of this series of videos is gold, 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 and more gold. Seems like most of the coins that have been submitted recently have been gold, and there's a lot of coins in this few unboxings that have been conserved by NCS for modern proofs, as well as some old gold like this beautiful coin that is in front of you now from Russia, 1818, and that's a pretty lovely old coin. Next coin here is 1888, the A mint mark, which is the Paris mint, and I probably said before, but it's taking on a life of its own. There seem to be more and more of this sovereign size, 20 franc size coin that's coming in for grading, and people are definitely going through and picking out the most interesting ones. There's a lot of raw coins out there, kind of semi-numismatic bullion, and they're picking out the best of these coins to grade, and I'm seeing quite a few of those, as well as the usual suspects like sovereigns and Britannias and Queen's Beasts and all that kind of stuff. The sovereigns continue to come in. There's Victoria sovereigns have got a little bit expensive at the moment in high grades. That means that a lot of people are looking for value, and they're trying like this to pick up what they can find as the best possible sovereigns with the king heads on it. They are cheaper to pick up, but they still have a pretty good following, particularly in very high grades, like this very, very beautiful Netherlands 65, MS65 coin. And what you've probably gathered from looking at all my videos, if you've been watching quite a few of them, is that all mint state coins are certainly not created equal. What's different about a mint state 65 that isn't there on a mint state 62 or 63? And the thing that you can tell most by looking at this coin was that the fields are pretty much clear of any bag marks, pretty clear, and it's only coins which have that clarity in those fields will get those higher grades. Another very, very beautiful coin, clearly liked by NGC. It got a plus rating, and for good reason. 1858, France, Paris mint, and it got a plus. The plus sign means that it's pretty much a 63, but not quite. They couldn't quite give it a 63, but they thought that it was right at the top end for what a 62 should be like. This one did get a higher grade, and you can see here the fields have pretty much no marks in. On the reverse, certainly no marks in the fields, loads of luster. Really, really nice little coin. It's a half sovereign, 1901. Those kind of coins weren't really circulated by 1901, so a lot of them are in pretty good shape. AU58 means that they did see a little bit of wear on it somewhere, or a little bit of rubbing in some places. Couldn't give it quite a mint state grade. This one is interesting. I thought this one should have got a proof-like designation. I mean, look at that, Umberto, King Umberto I of Italy, fabulous moustache, beautiful condition coin, 20 lira coin. I can't believe they didn't give it a PL rating. I'm sure some of you will say, it doesn't deserve a PL rating, but just look at it. If any coin that I've handled in this box deserves a PL rating, it was King Umberto I of Italy. Another sovereign, Australian sovereign, MS62. People say, at what stage is it worth grading some of these bullion-esque coins? And I think that if you feel that they can get a mint state designation, then they're worth having in a slab. But not every bullion coin is worth grading, and for the lower quality ones, they won't necessarily give you your money back over the grading costs. It's probably not worth on balance grading, XF45 up to AU55 unless the date is rare or there's some variety or something like that. Beautiful Spanish coin there. Another sovereign. Canadian sovereigns, they're a good bet. A lot of people now collect Canadian sovereigns. Even 1911, which was not a rare year for Canadian sovereigns, they only minted about 250,000 coins. So by the standards of other years and other mints, all Canadian sovereigns are really scarce coins, but some of them are truly amazing. There's a beautiful, I think it was a 1908 specimen sovereign on Heritage at the moment, and that'll go for something between $10,000 and $20,000, I would think. Only 650, 680 of those minted. The Melbourne Mint, very nice coin here. It's not a shieldback, it's a St George, more common at the Melbourne Mint, the St George's, but still they have a premium in really good condition, mint state condition. This one was kind of halfway between that unusual grade of a 60 where they couldn't work out whether it had wear or whether it was mint state. Now this is a cool coin, really cool coin. This is one of those situations where it is worth grading a pretty worn looking coin because it has an interesting variety. So this is the 1891 short tail sovereigns. The little tail, there's a little bit more space between the plinth and the tail. So it's a short tail variety, very rare. It's pretty desirable. A lot of people would like to have a short tail variety in their collection. So even though this one's only a VF30, it should do pretty well if it was sold. Now this coin is mine for a change. This is a coin that I bought from SV Collector, and I thought it might have got potentially a 61, but it got a 58. They obviously took a close look at it, found some minor signs of wear. I have to say, looking at other 58s that I've seen graded, this is much better than the average 58. I'm surprised. It may be worth taking regrading it at some stage, letting them have another look at it and see if it gets up to a 61. But 58, certainly this is a very good 58 as far as I'm concerned, because I've seen a lot of worse looking 58s looking through the auction records. It's a coin I'm going to keep for the moment, but it may very well be sold at some stage and the money put to some other good use. 1880, the Netherlands. Now this is kind of interesting. This was a year where they made proof coins, I think, as well as MS coins, and the person who put this in said that it was a rare proof from that year. NGC have looked at it and they haven't designated as a proof. Although it does have some cameo, the fields aren't mirrored particularly, so it may just be a really, really nice MS grade coin as opposed to a real genuine proof. This one has been back and forth a couple of times to NGC because it had a variety designation. The owner of this coin wanted the unbarred A's variety. You can see in Gratia, you can see the A, there's pretty much no sign of the bar underneath that makes up the letter A. NGC have refused to designate this coin unbarred A's, and they sent a little note with the coin saying they looked at it very closely and they thought there were possibly signs of the bar, and therefore they couldn't give it an unbarred A's designation, unfortunately. So that one isn't going to go back again. it's going to be grudgingly accepted. This one is another example of a coin that went back to NGC to be straightened out as a mechanical. So it has a 47 serial number. That means that it was graded by NGC directly in America. The UK ones have a 48 at the beginning of the invoice number. Is your connection to quality assured modern coins. Use code CHRIS for a 2% discount on anything you buy this month. A quick word before we take a look in detail through the rest of this box. Variety designations. I've been working with NGC to try to get them to provide more information on the label about varieties and catalogue numbers, and they've agreed to use the Marsh book, the Spink book, English silver coinage, any of the main catalogues to determine varieties. But if you do have a coin that is a new variety, then they will at this point not they won't find the variety and accredit it themselves, which is a little bit disappointing. They want one of the main experts to document the variety and publish it in a catalogue before they're willing to take a look themselves. So this one is a coin that went in for cross grading, and it came back with a little note saying that they didn't want to conserve it because they thought that the conservation process might remove a little bit of its natural toning, but it also didn't get crossed, so they didn't want to put it in a PR60 or a PF65 holder with NGC. But it's no big deal. It's an extremely rare coin. It's actually a proof of record. Very few of those exist, and it's fine to have it in a PCGS holder. This one is I think I've had 2 or 3 of these through now. I really love the big £5 format, 1.17 ounces of gold, chunky coins, usually with pretty good designs on, and a very good market, secondary market. A lot of people now looking out for these coins, and even though they're expensive, building collections of them. So pretty much at the end now of this box. The last one in the box, last but not least, is this lovely 2019 £5 gold piece. Look out for this one of my favourites. I think they do have a few of these still available at a pretty much £2,000, which is what, $2,500 from the mint. So they're a little bit of a premium, but in a way better value in some ways than some of the smaller coins in terms of the premium percentage. So watch out on the channel in the next few days for more of these mega results videos. There's some old, some new, lots of gold 50p's, lots of expensive mint sets, and I think we'll have a good time going through them and trying to explain what happened. You can see that little label there was the PCGS label that came off one of these. It was originally Proof 70 PCGS, and it got converted into an NGC 70. And I save the labels and I send the labels back to PCGS to remove them from the census so that it doesn't look like there are more coins graded than there actually are.